Future. That's an update.
And we're live.
Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You could have been anywhere Friday night, but you're here with us on the Friday night and Friday night tech talk
He got it.
show.
He
I
passed
never
the
have
test.
to. Or is it the Friday night TED Talk show?
Oh,
It's a
getting
user.
slick now.
The Friday night Tech Talk show. I am your host for this evening, TED Talks, and I am joined by my esteemed colleague, Mo Geezer.
Hey, everybody. Glad you came in. Right now, I see Will is in here. Zoop Tech is in here. Max is in here. That's all I see at the moment.
And I'm sure Brian is in there as well, just lurking. Now, let me see if I can actually get into my videos on. You know, how do you when you're on the YouTube app? It's always a struggle for me to see the current live stream.
Oh, the current live stream? I'm not
Yeah, the one that
sure.
we're on. It only comes up when
It's been too long since I've gone in directly because I always just look to it from StreamYard. And then I watch it on my phone.
yeah, I'll just go on to my other channel, Ted Okuroji, and I'll see it from there.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Bullseye. Okay. All right. So if you look in the description box, you will see a link where all the stories we're going to discuss is posted, and you can just follow along.
Yep. All right, I've got the first one up. I'm sharing the screen right now, and you're in control.
And before we start, though, is there something you wanted to share from this week, George?
Anything I wanted to share?
Yeah.
It's been a busy week for me at work. That's about it.
Oh. Okay. Well, on my end, I bought a car.
Oh, you did finally get the car.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to tell us what you got?
Oh no, that's going to be done in a video. I actually did a video, a vlog on that where I'm
Cool.
teasing it out.
Cool.
But yeah, so I'm actually in the process of buying car accessories.
Yeah,
So
very
far, I bought a car mount. Where is it? A car mount from Walmart. Their on brand, which is like their budget brand. I bought a magnetic one for $5, and so far the phone has fallen off of it 3 times.
good. Okay, I think you got to go a little higher, probably.
I mean, I think it's the. I don't know. I think I just had to move up the magnetic plate so it's higher up on the phone. But when I do that, it loses the ability to wirelessly charge. So
Okay, just don't break your phone while you're doing it.
the LG is military spec rated. Okay, so it should be able to handle 4-foot drops.
Okay. Well, I'm very happy for you.
And let's go to the comment. Max Tech is saying he just released a new video that he's been working on for a week. Okay,
That's
you guys go check it out after the show.
Yeah.
And all right, let's go to the first show.
All right.
Boom.
All right, first story, and it's your show. It's all yours. This is on gizchina.com.
Okay, let me just load up on my phone. So, come on. So, Japanese company Sony and however you pronounce that, Kyoja Rush,
I would think Kyoxa.
maybe Kyoja Rush to help Huawei. The situation with the active imposition of sanctions against Huawei by the US government show that restrictions do not give any positive results. Everyone suffers, not only the Chinese company. For example, thanks to recent restrictions, Japanese companies supplying chips to Huawei face the risk of losing billions of dollars in revenue. In order to lose money, according to the latest data, Japanese companies in order to not lose money, according to the latest data, Japanese companies Sony and Kyoja have applied for permission from the United States to continue doing business with Huawei. It is noteworthy that Intel has already received a license to supply chipsets to the Chinese giant for their MateBook computers.
Okay.
Mhm. As a reminder, Huawei is one of Sony's leading partners in camera sensors. Another Japanese company, Kyoja, is one of the world's leading manufacturers on flash memory chips. Kyoja, or Kyatsa, how do you say, a subsidiary of Toshiba, has warned that a supply chain restriction for Huawei could lead to an oversupply of memory cards. Due to the current uncertainty, the company had to postpone its ready-made spending plan for several $billion. In turn, due to the sanction against Huawei, Sony had to cut its spending plan for 3 years in advance, as there is currently a deficit of $7 billion due to the inability to supply camera sensors to Huawei. Because Huawei sells a lot of phones.
Yeah, so we're losing some money there.
Yeah, everyone's. Interestingly, these two companies are not the only ones going to save Huawei's business. The main competitors of the Chinese company Samsung Electronics also filed their application. Samsung is growing, Huawei is falling, and Apple third in August. At the end of August, Samsung regained leadership of the smartphone market, according to analysts at Counterpoint Research. The South Korean controls 22% of the mobile device market. This is not a bad achievement. The first half of this year was quite difficult for all companies due to the coronavirus and pandemic, but it seems that the situation is gradually leveling off. The U.S. sanctions also did their job, provoking a decline in demand for Huawei products, which at the end of the previous month was in second place with a result of 16% of the market share. Recall that the Chinese company has been the leader among smartphone manufacturers since April this year. Samsung owes its success primarily to the Indian market, where it managed to consolidate its position. But even here, politics influenced the company's success in the local market. Anti-Chinese feelings reigning in recent months due to the territorial conflict between India and China has led to an increased demand for Samsung products and a boycott of Chinese goods. In the third place at the end of August is Apple, whose share is estimated at 12%. The fourth line of the table of ranks of the largest smartphone manufacturer was taken by Xiaomi, 11%. But yep. So Huawei is closing. The ban is really making Huawei suffer in terms of their sales, but everybody wants to still do business with Huawei in terms of their camera sensors and their laptop range.
Yep. Makes perfect sense.
You think 2020 is going to look up for Huawei? 2021?
I tend to doubt it. I think as long as this trade war is going on between the United States and China, and now it seems to be spreading to some Japanese government, the Australians. I heard on the radio today that Germany is now getting very suspicious about Huawei. So I tend to doubt that things are going to get better, but who knows? You know, they are the leading 5G company, I believe, in the world. But if nobody wants to use them, who knows what's going to happen? Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
Got the second story up. I've shared it, so you're in control.
Boop, boop, boop.
Okay. And this one is about speakers.
Yeah, you wanted to talk about Bluetooth speakers last time. Let's talk about internet connected speakers.
Okay, so this one's on me?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is on slashgear.com. Nest Audio versus Sonos One versus IKEA Symfonisk. Yes, Symfonisk. Speaker Wars. There's no denying that the Nest Audio fills a sweet spot in Google's smart speaker range. Long anticipated replacement to the original Google Home, the new speaker delivers markedly better sound quality than the Nest Mini, but a much more affordable price point, not to mention smaller footprint than the Google Home Max. No product lives in isolation, though, and the most common question I've been getting is, what about Sonos? Once upon a time, Sonos was absolutely the premium option in any multi-room home audio argument. More recent years, however, have seen the cost of entry brought down considerably, particularly when the partnership with IKEA brought Symfonisk to the market. Sonos has a smart speaker with Google Assistant support, the Sonos One. It's $199 compared to the $99.99 of Net Audio, but has, among other things, the advantage of being switchable between the Assistant and Amazon's Alexa. That's pretty cool, I think. The IKEA Symfonisk bookshelf speaker, meanwhile, is $99, making it the cheapest of the three. Yeah, by 99 cents. I mean, it's 99 cents difference. But since it
although, I mean, you can get the Sonos. I've seen the Sonos One refurbished for $99 as well. So
yeah, but okay. But I'm amazed that he's
$1.
Mentioning it for $1.
You could used to buy a coffee for $1 back in the day.
Oh,
you might still be able to find coffee. Yeah, you can still buy coffee for $1, so it's not nothing.
That says you're getting old if you remember that.
I mean, you can still buy a coffee for $1 if you have a coupon for McDonald's or whatnot.
Okay, I'll buy that. All right. The IKEA Symfonisk bookshelf speaker, meanwhile, is $99, making it the cheapest of the three. But since it uses Sonos' platform, it'll integrate just like any speaker from the company and can be controlled using the Sonos app. Having had all three side by side, though, it's become clear that this is a decision based on more than just price. There's no one perfect speaker here. Instead, you have a decision to make. The reason Nest Audio sounds so much better than the old Google Home is down to drivers, namely 2 of them in the new speaker versus just 1 in the old. Google Home had to rely on a single driver for the full frequency range and passive radiators to try to boost the low end. Nest Audio, in contrast, has a separate woofer and tweeter, and the result is more bass, better high-end clarity, and a more precise sound profile overall. While it's better, there's still physics to consider. Although you get more bass, you don't get lots of it, as tracks with hefty low end make it clear. The Nest Audio are more balanced than their predecessors, but side by side with Symfonisk, whether individually or set up as a stereo pair as both permit, I find the IKEA speakers had a little more low end. The Nest Audio, in contrast, has a broader soundstage, which is possibly due to the design of its tweeter housing. You lose less of the clarity and crispness of vocals as you move off-center from the speaker. The biggest contrast, though, is the Google Assistant, or more accurately, its absence in the IKEA Symfonisk. Though that can be controlled, like all recent Sonos speakers, via speech commands through the Assistant, it doesn't have standalone support baked in, or indeed microphones of its own. All that means is that the question you should be asking yourself is whether you prefer a little more bass or the ability to hold the conversation with your speaker. If you've already got a smart speaker in the room, or you don't mind just reaching for the app, then a Symfonisk might be better. If you're making a stereo pair, though, Google's current deal that trims $20 off every 2 Nest Audio you buy, bringing that down to $179.98 is hard to argue with.
That is true.
Yep. Nest Audio versus Sonos One, the price of bass. If you want a Sonos smart speaker, the cheapest port of call is the Sonos One. Initially launched with Alexa support, you can now choose whether you want Amazon or Google to be listening for your commands. I just think that's cool that you can go either way. The downside is that you can get 2 Nest Audio for less than what a single Sonos One will set you back. That's a lot to consider, given the different sound profiles. Side by side, I found a single Sonos One clearly outperformed a single Nest Audio. It can go louder, there's more bass, and after running through Sonos' TruePlay tuning system, it sounded more natural than the Nest Audio did. Things got a little closer with the Nest Audio stereo pair, however, compared to the single Sonos One. That configuration is in price alignment with. Suddenly, you get a much broader soundstage and more volume. There's no extra bass, but that fact was a little easier to live with thanks to the overall volume increase. Now, if you throw in a second Sonos One, then all that's for naught. Sonos' system just plain sounds better. However, it'll cost you almost $400 exactly. At which point you could have bought 4 Nest Audio and still have almost enough money left over for a Nest Mini 2. Okay, compelling compromise for Nest Audio. When it comes to the middle ground, it's hard to argue with the Nest Audio. Making a decision will probably depend on what you've already got installed in your smart home. If you're new to smart speakers, then spending $99.99 on a single Nest Audio is a sweet sounding way to get in on the assistant action. If you've already got some way of interacting with Google's AI, however, then it pays to consider your options more broadly. Part of that should include taking into account the sort of music you enjoy too. If you're into bass-heavy pop, R&B, rap, or other such genres, the Nest Audio's low end may not be enough. Jazz, classical, and vocal-heavy tracks, however, perform much better to my ears. Okay, that's it. The rest is just comments. And the first comment was interesting. Or if you don't want a surveillance microphone in your house or a giant corporation built on gathering user data can monitor you, then some Symphonisk is looking like a pretty great deal. Anyway, everybody's worried about their privacy.
Yeah, you always got to be careful who you let into your home.
Yeah. Yes, that's very justified these days.
Yeah, I'm surprised people are still putting adverts for the, if you scroll down, there was an ad for the Jabra 65Ts.
Oh, the 65Ts are still here? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even see it.
Yeah, right there. Save $20 on the, you scroll past it. I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's let those things die already. Goodness gracious.
Hey, I've got mine right here, 65T.
Do you even use those? You don't even use them. Let it die.
Of course I use them. They're good. They're not as good as my Samsungs, but they're good. And I do use them.
I hated them. Hated.
Okay, sorry. Snob.
It's not even a snob thing.
Do you have any of these speakers we were talking about?
Let's see, which one did I have? No, I had the Sonos Play 5, which I actually won off from a bank.
Okay.
And I just sold it straight off. I didn't even try it out because I was too scared of keeping it if I did like it. So I had the Play 5, which is like a huge. It's pretty much the size of the Google Play Max.
Okay.
And it's around it's around for the same price of $400.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the one I have. I never actually put it on because I just was like, I'm just sell it since I got it for free.
Okay. Oh, let me recognize that Robert is now in here and Brian is in here. And welcome, guys. Glad you could join us. And okay, just looking through the comments. Okay.
But actually, I wanted to expand on the first story we read on Huawei. I think 2021 would be their year. If I'm assuming that, because I'm banking on Trump leaving the White House, and when that happens, it's pretty much. I think we can ease some restrictions on Huawei.
Yeah, we might hear, but now that Australia and Germany and Japan are starting to come down on them too. I don't know.
But that's just on their networks, using laying down pipe for their networks. Nothing for selling them or allowing them to sell handsets.
Yeah, that's probably true. But yeah, the only way they're going to pick up in handsets is if we take them off the entity list, because then they can buy components from United States companies or companies associated with a United States company. So I don't see them coming back that quickly, but I hope.
Yes, I just want the folding phones. I just want that the folding phones to come into our market so we can try them out.
Okay.
Maybe that'll drive, actually, it probably won't even drive price down from what Samsung is doing because even Huawei's is expensive.
Yeah, they're all expensive. Yeah. I am loving this one, by the way.
Oh, that is a nice skin. Why didn't you show that to us in the beginning when I was asking how it's going?
I put a deep brand skin on it. It's really nice. Yeah.
I think you should take off the rubbers though. It's detracting from that carbon.
No. That's
He's not even going to risk it.
I take this to work every day with me now. So.
But you're at your place. You're on the desk. What's going to happen? What's going to happen, George? Come on.
What's going to happen?
What's going to happen?
Even I can be klutzy and clumsy, So anyway, I am loving my Surface Duo. And yes, it has some issues, and they just fixed a few of the swiping issues with an update, and it is better. But they still have a few issues. But having the two screens as far as productivity for myself, I just absolutely love it. And I'm getting very dependent upon it.
Okay. Hey, you still have the Axon M, right? Who's doing dual tasking better since they pretty much, they're about the same thing? Although no, the Axon M was about content consumption pretty much, whereas the Surface Duo is about productivity. So
now, I have the Duo, I have the LG Velvet, and I have the LG GX8. Now the GX8 and Velvet do a nice job, but I still think the Duo does it better. Somehow you feel more productive on the Duo.
Are you telling me that LG gave you the Velvet to keep? Wait, that.
Well, they haven't sent me anything to sign, so I would assume so. Of course, I'm so far behind on videos. I need to make a video comparison between the Velvet and the G8X. I need to do. And I need to do comparisons between the 4A and the 3A. I'm behind on stuff since I went.
Yeah, since you started working.
Exactly. Yeah. So I will get to some of that this weekend. All right, we going to the next one.
But no, you didn't say anything about the Axon M though. I'm surprised no one talks about the Axon M more often.
Well,
now that the Surface Duo is on the scene.
3.5 years old now,
So, still another phone that has two screens.
You have to remember to pull it out once in a while. I pull mine out maybe once every 3 months, and I probably put it back in a day, and then I forget about it for another 3 months because it's an old phone. That's the only reason why.
Let's see. There's actually one guy who did a video today. Who put out a video today. His name is, what happened there? His name is Izzy Ombra, and he still religiously uses his Axon M. Okay. He does complain that it feels, underpowered, especially when it came out with the A21. Right. But he mostly uses it for, DS emulation to play Nintendo DS games, because that console had the two screens.
Right.
And to read comics.
Right. I'm looking at Brian's comments. He's saying the screen is wider on the Duo. I'm allowing more content on the screen, and he's right. And then he says, I'm suffering from Jerome syndrome, too much work, not enough time. That's true at the moment.
Where's that one? Okay.
And Brian's asking you a question.
Yeah, am I getting a Pixel? I might try out the Pixel 4a 5G for about a week because, headphone jack.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I love my 4A, but I don't have the 5G. I don't intend on getting it.
But I actually have my sights on the Xperia 5 Mark II.
Okay.
Again, headphone jack.
Yeah. If I were going to get one of the new Pixels, I'd be looking at the 5 instead of the 4. That's just me, though.
I'm salty that the 5 doesn't have a headphone jack when it pretty much could have. And you know why they did it? Because Google's thinking, if you can afford the 5, you can spend, $100 extra to get their Pixel Buds. Screw them.
Yeah, that's probably true. But in any case, I'm just waiting for the new Apple phone. So That's where my next money is headed for.
I don't know anything about that new iPhone, so I'd appreciate it if. Hold on, let me put the banner out. If nobody spoils it for me, guys.
Pardon me. You see what Will says about the headphone jack, don't you?
Let the headphone jack. Let the
Of
headphone
course,
jack.
you know this is coming from the apple juice guys, so that makes perfect sense.
He's like, let the headphone jack die. Tell that to George, who's using it right now.
Yeah,
Heck,
I use it because I'm sitting right here at my desk, but I mean, I could go Bluetooth if I wanted to, but they're here and I use them. It's true.
Yeah, I'm using the headphone jack right now for my mic system. So, like, what are you talking about? Like, okay, let's see. What's the next story we got?
Okay. I've got it up. You're in control.
My mouse doesn't want to play.
Are you beating up your mouse? It sounds like it.
Yeah. It's this thing like, I don't know. I think it's the works of, there we go, finally.
Okay. All right, this one is on 9 to 5 Google. And this one is all yours.
Okay. So this, for those interested in Google Wi-Fi, to up your home internet system, the Google Wi-Fi quietly got relaunched at $99 with a 3-pack for $199. So it's like is that like getting 2 free?
Yeah, it's that's definitely more affordable than it was before.
Certainly is.
Yep.
So physically, this new Google Wi-Fi looks identical as the version announced in October 2016. It's white, officially snow, cylindrical puck that ever so slightly slants inward with a partition in the middle where the static light pulses. On the sustainability front, Google says 49% of the device plastic part waste is made of recycled material, because that's the rage, recycled.
That's true.
There's now an engraved G logo at the top versus one that's just printed on. Instead of USB-C, it gets powered from a 15-watt adapter and a barrel jack plug, like every other Nest Smart speaker. Each point is a router, and there's a dual gigabyte Ethernet port on each. Right? Yeah. The tagline for this router is Wi-Fi that just works. As Google says, there's a reason it's the best-selling mesh system in the US, even after the Nest Wi-Fi was announced last year as its intended replacement. This simultaneous dual-band 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi supporting ABG and AC, but not X. Like before, this system automatically optimizes the network. Each unit can handle up to 100 connected devices. Okay. It's powered by a quad-core ARM processor, 512 of RAM, 4 gigabytes of eMMC flash, security-wise, Google touts WA3 encryption, security updates, and a trusted platform module. You control the new Google Wi-Fi from the Google Home app alongside your other assistant devices. This includes parental controls to pause use in other devices, as well as set usage schedules. Individual devices can be given prioritized connection, while you can quickly share guest networks, run speed tests, and what's connected from Android and iOS companion app. One point at 99 covers up to 1,500 square foot, and the 3-pack covers 4,500. In comparison, the 2016 edition was started at $129, while an identical bundle was $299.
Yeah, so this is a lot better.
And cheaper.
Yep.
And so I'm skipping to the last paragraph. The new Google Wi-Fi is available in the US Google Store today and shipping to buyers now. It's currently only available in one country, USA.
So yeah, the affordability makes it, to me, if you don't have a mesh Wi-Fi system, makes it a pretty attractive and easy choice, I would think.
Hold on, looks like Brian says no ecosystem can tie him down. He buys outside of an ecosystem. That's right, he shops around.
Okay.
So if you buy a TV, so if Brian buys a TV from Samsung, you
Oh,
will
wait,
see
wait.
with the
Look, yeah,
what?
look at his comment that he aimed at Will. This is shocking.
Which one? Which one? Which one? This one?
No, the one, no, 3, 4 up above that. Yeah, that one. I mean, Brian saying something nice about Apple. This is amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing because Google's Android, Apple apps are better than on Android.
Okay. But, but even Will is saying Apple's UI just gets stale, and that's true. But it always works.
But it just works, though.
Exactly.
That's what they sell you, though. Right now,
plus, as Will always says, plus the years of support, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but you have to see my left hand because it's been fingers crossed that these AirPods don't go out.
Okay, let's hope not. See why I'm wired? Actually, I have 4 Bluetooth AirPods right in front. I mean, 4 sets of Bluetooth buds in front of me, but I just used to using these wired ones, so I do. I'm old though. Yeah. All right, I've got the next story up, and whenever you're ready.
Hold on, Brian is saying something about it just needs icon position flexibility and app drawer flexibility. All I'm asking for the iOS 14 update was that you can just put your apps anywhere.
Anywhere you want, yeah. Well, I think that kind of is what he means by app drawer flexibility. Yeah.
Like, I don't even care about the app drawer. Like, I'm happy to I think they even did too much. When
really?
they automatically sorted your apps.
Yeah, I didn't like the sorting. Yeah,
why would you even do that? Like, why would they do? All they had to do was just put all the apps there in alphabetical order, and we'd have been happy. But
yeah, they did their own grouping and that. Yeah, they kind of did overdo it, in my opinion, too. But you see Will's comment. I won't hold my breath.
Yeah, It's like when they add a feature, I don't know when they'll actually remove it.
Well, I mean, Apple's not known for removing features, is it?
No,
okay.
Not really. The third-party developers, like with their apps, they're known to remove those features, but not when they introduce it themselves. I'm just like, darn.
Yeah, and Google specializes in that.
Google will kill anything and everything, especially since it's a messenger app. Really, though, they're kind of they're overdue for killing a messenger app. So, who would get the chopping block on the Google messaging app?
Yeah.
Is Android message? It's probably going to be Android messages. Google Meet. Actually, no, it's supposed to be Duo, right? Because they're going to merge Google Meet and Duo into one. So.
Okay.
Okay, let's.
I'm reading that comment right now. Oh, Brian, that's terrible. Look at Brian's. That's terrible. Uh-oh. He disappeared on us, folks. Am I in here on my own? I don't know what happened to Ted. Hopefully he'll come right back because he's in control of this stream. I can't even do anything. Okay.
Me and my mouse were having a bit of an argument, so I was like crushing it, and it has a back button, so I ended up.
I'm glad you won the argument.
So let's see.
Will
say Duo is on borrowed time.
Exactly. With his
Brian, Tim Cook needs a broken jaw.
Yeah, that's terrible.
All right, let's see. So the next story is on Google's Project Jacquard, which I'm also surprised Google has not killed that off.
Yeah, I hadn't even heard of this. And you want to read this one or me?
You can do it. Mr. Mobile did a video on their denim trucker jacket, which was the first, under their project.
Oh, I do
Jacquard.
remember that. It was a while ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember. I had forgotten all about it. All right, this is on the Verge, of course. Samsung's Connect Eye is the most affordable backpack with Google's Jacquard tech, starting at $199.99. So there it is. This is the standard size version of the bag that costs $229.99. Samsung has debuted two new Connect Eye backpacks, one standard size for $230 and one slim size option for $200, each equipped with Google's Jacquard technology that can make fabric respond to your touch. The technology is employed in the same way as the 880 Yves Saint Laurent CITE backpack. A fabric module on the left shoulder strap, made easy to find by parallel lines of raised paint, is sensitive to your touch, allowing you to assign actions to gestures. They're both available through Samsonite's web shop. Once you charge up the Jacquard module with the included micro USB cable, surprise, it's micro USB, you slide it into place over the pins on the shoulder strap. It vibrates the bag when it's correctly installed and is restrained with some fabric to keep it in place. You then use a Jacquard app for iOS or Android to configure what sorts of actions you'd like to assign to 4 gestures: brush up, brush down, double tap, and cover. If you read my colleague Gita Bond's hands-on with the Levi's trucker jean jacket, you likely already know the gist of it. You can assign fairly predictable tasks to the gestures, like to play pause or skip traps or to pick up phone calls. On the backpack, Jacquard is far more customizable than it is in something like the Adidas GMR insoles that use Jacquard to turn your real-life movement activity into in-game rewards in FIFA Mobile. There are some clever tasks available through the Jacquard app, but unless you're biking or driving a scooter or moped, most of them registered as being superfluous for other users like casual walking. For instance, you can set the LED on the Jacquard module to flash an array of colors when you use the gesture. This seems especially useful for staying visible to cars at night. That's true. You can set a gesture to drop a pin in Google Maps for when you see a cool thing or place during your travels. It can also ping your phone to tell you what the next direction is on your way to a destination. That sounds kind of useful. If you have Bose headphones connected to your phone via Bluetooth, you can assign the ability to toggle noise cancellation to a gesture. But is this actually easier than reaching up to tap a button on your headphones? It's questions like these that start to poke holes in the practicality of Jacquard. It's certainly neat, but it won't be useful for everyone. And to me, the fact that they, Bose headphones, that says, okay, this is intended for a higher end rather than lower or middle market, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I tested the standard Connect Eye backpack, which is the larger of the two. It has a rounded profile that protrudes more than the Peak Design everyday backpack that I usually use. Well, used to use when I had somewhere to go. Good points. Importantly, though, the Connect Eye isn't too big and it doesn't feel like a Samsonite made concessions on comfort and storage space or price in its quest to add Google's Jacquard tech to the bag. There are tons of pockets and dividers within to keep smaller doodads organized. Overall, there's enough room for what seems like a week's worth of clothes rolled up, along with a dedicated section with sufficient padding for a 15-inch laptop. There's also a generous number of side and front pockets for easy access to keys, accessories, and the like. Both sizes are crafted with a water-repelling polyester with Teflon backing, according to Samsonite. There's another look. I guess that's the larger or smaller. It's not uncommon to spend upwards of $200 on a nice bag for gadgets and other uses anyway. Getting some interesting, if a bit gimmicky, touch functionality on top of what seems like an otherwise durable and capacious backpack from Samsonite is just a perk. And depending on your lifestyle, you might get something out of it. So that's it. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a pretty reasonable price to me, but it does seem kind of, what did he call it? Gimmicky. It does seem kind of gimmicky.
It's just too much tech. This is an example of too much tech.
Well, since you picked the story, I thought you were the one who'd be attracted to that.
It's an example of too much tech. I would just say, I always wonder, when is too much, when is too much tech a thing? But yeah, this is an example. Come on, mouse. Let them see my face. Come on.
Are you fighting with your mouse again?
Hold on, I have to use my trackpad.
You're having a face. So you had a face off with your mouse and lost.
Yeah, willingly will. So currently, Gary has joined us on the chat. Okay.
Gary, glad you're here, brother. We hadn't had enough wisecracks anyway.
All right, maybe it's this mouse pad.
Are you going to beat up your tech all day, all night?
Gotta establish a pecking order, seems, whenever there's a new location I'm in.
Sounds like you're establishing a beating order.
Let's see. Will is talking about people can't find me. Well, you know what? Consider this as a secret grotto. If someone is just outside.
Unbelievable.
Oh, you're right, Joey.
Am I in the grotto here? You know what? It's dark behind you. We're in the grotto, folks.
But yeah, if you want to find me, if you want to find your way back to Ted's grotto, subscribe.
Exactly. And don't mind me. I'm just sitting up here on the moon looking at Earth. I love the grotto. It sounds great. Yeah, and Will did say he meant by the name because, yeah, even you say yourself, it is hard to find your town with just TED Talks. But I always send the link to whoever I mention it to. So
let's see, but
okay, I've got the next one shared. Now, of course, it's only Twitter, but
oh yeah, this is gonna be the commentary part.
Okay,
Come on.
I think you need a new mouse.
I suspect so. I bought it refurbished off of Amazon Renewed.
So the older guy has the better mouse. Something's wrong with that picture.
He's talking about gotta change the name from TED. We'll probably discuss that 2 weeks from now. A different TED Talks or Friday Night TED Talk.
There you go.
From like what would I change my name to? I've been hearing TED Talks as a joke for years. All of a sudden I can't capitalize on it.
I guess you could call it Teddy Bear. Oh, no, that sounds like a pornographic site, though.
TED. I think Jerome said Ted's Thoughts. Hey guys, welcome to Ted's Thoughts. Today I thought about.
All right, everybody pitch in and come up with a new name for TED Talks.
Yeah, I'll consider it. Just leave a comment below. Teddy, ooh, this one looks good.
Brian said TED about the rage.
Teddy 1, 2, check out.
Okay. now Brian did come up with one. TED Tech. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. TED Tech.
Yeah.
TED Tech.
That has
see.
a nice ring to it, I think, like TED Talks.
It certainly does.
Yeah, you're gonna search on TED Tech, aren't you?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, hold on, you disappeared. Where are you? There you go. Okay, hold on. Let's go see. YouTube.
See, folks, you're helping with research. This is good.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, let me share.
Of course, you've got me looking too. Dead air.
Ted.
That's terrible. Dead air. Oh,
TED Talks Tech.
Yeah. So I think Brian has it. TED Tech. I'm not seeing any TED Tech. Are you?
TED Talks Today's Tech. Oh well. Okay, hold up. We have a TED Talk. We have a
TED Tech. I think it looks good and it looks like it'd be easy to find.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I did actually try TED Talks Tech, but it all comes back on.
But TED Tech, nobody seems to have that. Right? I mean, yeah, it looks like nobody has TED Tech.
Yeah, let me not put talk at all.
I think you may owe Brian a commission here.
Yeah, whenever there is a commission. Let's see. Duration, last hour, channel shows. Why can't I search by user? Channel, there we go. That's what I want.
There you are. That's what you want.
There's a TED Tech.
Yeah, but there's no TED test, so yours would still be easy to find.
And there's also there's a TED the Tech. That's a weird one. 69 videos.
I think Brian has a winner here.
And what's that one?
TED Tech. It looks like nobody has TED Space Tech.
All right. Yeah.
Well, obviously, Brian, I like it more than Ted does.
Just don't want to be pigeonholed. TED Tech Unfiltered.
As long as you're not a stool pigeon, we're okay.
Because I don't just talk about tech. I also talk about book reviews, which I haven't published that video yet.
Well, I thought Brian had it.
Brian might have it. Thanks,
Brian. I was going to give you credit. I certainly wasn't going to give you cash, but I was going to give you credit.
I'll definitely have to come back to this video for the ideas, but keep him coming, guys. Thank you.
Gary has Ted's Tech Unfiltered.
Jerome should have a second channel too. Raging Rome's runs.
Yeah, that's probably true. Will came up with Talks with Ted. Now that sounds like an analysis show.
How about hot ass Magoo?
There's the Gary we know and love.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
So
you could end every show saying, "Oh, Magoo, you've done it again."
Oh, Magoo talks and thoughts with Ted. Hey guys, Ted here, and today I want to talk.
Look, he's actually practicing. Oh, I didn't realize you had put up the next story already.
Hey guys, you everyone. You know what I thought about today? Or hey everyone, today I'm going to talk. Okay.
All right, folks, you're all guinea pigs here.
Talks and thoughts with Ted.
You sound like you're getting tongue-tied now.
Oh my gosh, this flies. Ooh. So good.
Are we moving on?
Yes.
All right, so you need to talk up this one because I don't know where you're going with this. I did watch the video.
Mm-hmm. So MKBHD, why do people not buy Sony phones?
Sony, yeah, okay.
You saw the video. So basically, he reviews the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II, and then he also gives a commentary on, this is a great.
I mean, yeah, he ultimately gave it a pretty glowing recommendation.
Yeah, but I wanted to focus more on the commentary, where he tries to figure out why nobody buys, Sony phones. And to be honest, up until I would have actually put the blame Juan. Did I hear talks and third with no Juan?
Oh, I like it, Juan. See?
No.
Now you know Juan, the creative guy, okay? You should listen to him.
Okay, so I wanted to focus on the commentary on the video where Marquez, tries to hypothesize why Sony are selling smartphones.
Okay.
And the thing is, up until 2020, I would have actually put the blame on him. By the way, hey Juan, thanks for stopping by. I would have actually put the blame on people like, Marquez or other, popular YouTubers who never covered Sony smartphones.
But he's covered Sony smartphones before.
The last one was the Sony Xperia
That's true.
The Z5. Yeah, that was years ago. I think that was 3 or 4 years ago. He didn't even cover the phone. All he did was talk about the 4K display. That was it.
That's right. You're right. And
I was feeling some type of way, like he had the phone.
That was the big thing in that one. That's true.
I'm just like, all he did was literally talk about the display. I was thinking, sir, you have the whole phone. Just review it. Luckily, Erica Griffin, she, gave a proper review of the phone.
Erica's going to go in deep detail. She always does.
Yeah, especially about display technology. She can do a fully detailed review on his phone, but especially on display technology.
She is the expert on that. But if you want deep dives, I think you go with Erica. You go with Flossie because you're going to get it all.
Yeah, whether how long it takes, 40 minutes or to an hour.
And neither one of them pay any attention to how long it takes. They just want to give you the information, and I got to give them credit for that.
I mean, yeah, even it gets I like to consider myself. I like to go deep into tech, but Erica Griffin, she goes when she gets into the display tech. She'll talk about gamma curves, the LUTs, the pixels.
She shows you charts on it too, brother.
She'll just waterboard me with the information. I'm like, okay, I've had enough. I just have to skip.
You are allowed to pause the video and skip ahead. I'm not sucking up, but if you want a good overall view of something, Juan probably does that better than most because he goes into different spots and kind of gives you, some of everything that it will do. And sometimes Marquez does that, and sometimes he doesn't.
Let's see. Yeah, Juan does the. Let's talk about him he's not here. He has the audio reviews and the camera reviews, which you have to pay on.
Well, he's kind of an expert in both of those, so that makes sense.
You have to go on his Patreon to have the honor of watching those. But yeah, they're not too bad, in terms of bombarding with information.
Look at this comment. I think we've got him blushing. This is good. I like it.
But definitely, guys, it's not a bad way to spend $2 if you want to see how well your smartphone performs audio-wise. Give the man $2, and he'll give it to you in a nice, concise manner.
Cool. And he says no one covers like Erica, and that's true. Erica is always worth watching, but yes, she will detail you to death. But that's kind of what makes her so valuable, I think.
True. Let's see. But yeah, I would say, 2019, I would have blamed it on reviewers. But currently in 2020, now I think much of that ball really just falls on Sony, not really marketing their phones well or just putting it out well.
And he stressed that in the video,
Yeah. He said, the phone came out sometime in March and he just got it now. Yeah. And I suspect, they just gave it to him now.
Yeah. And it was 5 months later. Yeah. And Jay Williams always says the same thing about their lack of marketing.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that Sony gave Marquez the 1 Mark II and not the 5 Mark II, which is what they're. If you look at their YouTube videos, they are just pushing tons of promotional video out right now. So
right,
they're not really it's probably good for their brand name overall, but it's clearly they're doing an LG V30 blunder where they do a bunch of promotional video all at once, and then the phone comes out 4 months later, which is not good. And I'm currently experiencing that trouble now with the Xperia 5 Mark II. I'm getting 2 or 3 videos every week from their YouTube channel, so Sony Xperia's YouTube channel on my feed.
Right.
And the phone is available to purchase in December. December.
He made that point in the video too. Yeah. Look at Juan's. Now Juan's got a comment in here. Tech Alter. I don't know Tech Alter. Do you know?
Yeah,
Tech
he
Alter?
does. Yeah, he does the story behind. His story behind series. The story behind series are great. Boy, he talks about the business and market trends on brands and whatnot. Definitely worth checking out.
I need to check him out. Now, see, Juan is saying, I like what Sony is doing by not focusing on the main tech YouTubers, but the phone is getting much better commentary on photography channels. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, actually, yeah, he's right. What's his name? The Art of Photography. He's been talking about the Sony Xperia One for some time, especially their pro apps for video and photography.
Okay. Look at Brian's comment right above Juan's.
Let's see. Most consumers are not smart enough to get a Sony phone. Apparently, pairing a Bluetooth headset is easier than plugging in headphones. Setting camera manual functions is too hard for them.
Well, that part may be true. That may be true for a lot of us.
But yeah, let's actually give props to Sony on that front. Like, they have the best Bluetooth headsets in the game, but they still put the headphone jack on their phones, their premium sponsored phones.
Give credit where credit is due.
Credit is due, yeah. Hats off to Sony there.
Okay.
And actually, I don't know. I would beg to differ, Juan, though. Like,
You're differing in what way?
Like not focusing, like they don't have to focus on the main tech tubers, but just in terms of getting the phone out to people. So hey guys, Sony's putting out phones, and and it'll be available to be purchased by 3 weeks later. That is maybe they don't have to do that, but they certainly should. Yeah, actually no. Yeah, I take back my original point.
It shouldn't
They
take
should
money.
they should just pay for more ads to get in front of people.
And that's the thing. I mean, who is the most successful at advertising? Well, Apple and Samsung. Who does the most advertising on TV? Well, Apple and Samsung. It's kind of basic, if you ask me.
That's true. And apparently Sony is supposed to have a third smartphone, which is the Xperia phone, which is the one that's supposed to have like 5G connectivity that's supposed to pair with their professional Alpha line cameras.
Okay.
I don't even know if that's going to come out this year. I doubt it will. If the Xperia 5 Mark II is supposed to come out in December.
Yeah. Look at Brian's comment. No, the one above that is the one I meant, but okay. Yeah. But it seems to me if you do some TV advertising, that's certainly going to be your most successful, at least as far as monetarily.
But I think 2020 does have a thing for it, because usually, Sony, if there's a Bond movie that's supposed to come out, Sony's on that.
Yeah,
James Bond is going to be using an Xperia phone.
But one is making the point, even Apple is late this year, and that's a first. So, and that's true. Everybody is.
Were they late for the Apple SE?
No, but they are. Well, I don't think they were, but they're certainly late now. And who was later than Google? Well, nobody.
Yeah, Google was. Well, Google was 2 months late.
Was it? I thought it was 3 months. It seems like. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Are we done with MKBHD?
Nope.
Okay.
Sony is playing a smarter game considering their budget is nowhere near Samsung's. That is true. As 1 and 5 are heading in the right direction.
Okay.
I don't know if they're playing a smarter. I think they're playing a smarter game in terms of their manufacturing. Their phones are heading in the right direction.
And you don't hear anything but pretty much good things about both of those phones.
They did get the phone out to the right people because they wanted to highlight the photography prowesses of the phone. So yeah, they did take some correct steps there, but maybe I'm just maybe I have to also take into account that 2020 didn't play in their advantage so well. And there's actually a third reason why Sony just isn't selling phones, and that is also simply Sony doesn't sell in those markets.
In what do you mean in the American market?
Well, no, for some reason Sony has, kept selling in the markets, but no, they don't sell in Australia. I don't think they sell in India. Like, they every year, in order for them to, that they don't lose so much money, they limit the markets that they sell in so they don't actually lose so much money. I think they're actually able to be profitable in 2017 or is it 2018 because of how well they cut the markets that they sold in.
Okay.
So that's a third reason why people don't buy Sony phones. Sony
Yeah,
won't sell.
you would think they'd be shooting at the biggest markets. You certainly should be shooting in India and in America and I would guess China.
Not India. India's not about to spend. India is more frugal.
Second biggest market on earth.
Nah.
It's a bigger market than the U.S.
If Indians are going to spend money, Sony money, they're going to most likely
You're right. Yeah,
use Apple.
That's true. They don't spend money.
But yeah, they don't sell. Yeah, they don't sell in. They don't sell for Jack. They don't sell in Australia, which
I'm not getting what Juan means about not understanding. Oh, you're saying Australia doesn't understand Japanese brands? Is that what he's saying?
Sony doesn't sell in Australia, and he doesn't understand. Because they're similar. They're both living in islands.
Yeah. They're somewhat in the same part of the world.
I think that's what Japanese brands tends to do well in terms of what Toyotas, Hondas.
Yeah, well, I think Australia would be a natural market for them. So.
And Brian, Sony should level their PlayStation power. They should certainly make a bigger deal about it.
Well, yeah, I kind of agree with him. Is that they ought to find a marketing way to tie their phones to the PlayStation in some respect. I think that would.
They do. But it's with the PlayStation, there's always a video where I see it, and the phone is connected to a PlayStation 4 controller.
Okay.
Not a PlayStation 5 controller. I'm like, guys.
But you're seeing that on your YouTube feed, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing it on the YouTube.
We should be seeing that on a TV commercial, in my opinion.
That is 100% true. Like if you buy the phone from B&H, they do offer a promotion where if you buy it, they'll give you these Call of Duty play credits, and maybe they should have done a promotion where they tie it into the PlayStation 5.
And plus the fact, can you imagine now? You put it on TV, everybody knows about the PlayStation. Tie your phone there, you're going to get a whole lot more. I would think you're going to naturally get a lot more people buying your phones because they see the PlayStation. Now they see your phone. Makes perfect sense to me. But who listens to an old man?
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to say yeah. You were supposed to say, "Oh no, George, you shouldn't say that about
What? Let me turn up my hearing aids. I did it. Exactly. Say it again. But yeah, no, I'm actually saving my money for the Xperia 5 Mark II as well, mainly because it has a headphone jack. And currently, also because my LG G8X is having trouble on visible, so. And and third of all, if I'm going to, I feel like this year is probably going to be the last year we focus on the glass sandwich, just plain old form factor. I want a phone that's able to give me everything perfect before I go to a foldable or dual screen thing once and for all.
Oh, I want to mention while Juan is in here that Juan, I absolutely love my Duo, even with all the bugs. I am loving my Duo, and I am finding it is making me somewhat more productive, which I suspected when I got it. And I'm more productive on it than I am on the Velvet or the G8X. So I know you have it. You seem to like it from what I've seen. So I just wanted to mention I just love it. And I take it to work with me every day. So.
What is the productive thing that you do on that Surface Duo? Tell.
Well, it's the fact that I can pull up two different things at once, and both things that are relevant to me at the same time very, very quickly. Whereas, yes, I can do most of that on the Velvet or the G8X, but nowhere near as quick.
Nowhere near as quick.
I just one finger and boom, I have both of them side by side. And of course, you can have them launch dual apps at the same time. And it's like every morning when I read my Bible scriptures, I just hit both apps at the same time.
That's right, because it's able to, pair two apps at the same time.
Exactly. And I do the same thing. I have Gmail and Outlook. I have it, so when I hit it, both of them come up at the same time. So I just love this thing. And the fact that they just came out with the update, at least only on the unlocked version, I gather, day before yesterday, and it is better with the gestures than it was before. Not perfect yet, but certainly a lot better in my opinion.
Okay.
Oh, one is missing. That's the one you traded with TK?
Oh yeah, he traded it for the Galaxy Note.
Yeah, because they did the same thing. They did the same thing last year. That's right.
Oh no. You've compromised your position, agent SGG. Sorry. Let's see. All right. So the next story is
again another one you want to discuss, obviously. To me, as I've said for weeks now, the only phone I'm getting this year is going to be, I believe, the iPhone 12. Yeah, the iPhone 12 Pro, which is going to cost more money than I want to spend, but I think that's the one I want.
And it has 5. If I'm looking at the circles, it just might have 5G. Count those circles.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. 4.
Yeah, I'm counting 3 circles.
But no, there's 1 here, 2, 3, 4. Wait, there's supposed to be a 5th one.
I see 4 circles, not 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, and there's supposed to be another one like right here. So this will be the 5th one.
Supposed to be? It's not there.
It's there. It's there. Listen, the absence of sight is not absence.
I've gone blind.
Does not equal.
Okay.
So yeah, but I think I'm probably gonna give this one a miss.
You're gonna miss? You can skip?
Yeah, I'm gonna skip this one.
Okay.
At this point, I just my iPhone 11 just chilling in the bag. It's just a tool for videos.
Yeah, well, I've been kind of looking forward to getting the Pro, and I think I'm going to get it as soon as I can.
But anyone in the comments looking forward to an iPhone 12? When? What do you think?
The 13th.
I was asking someone who's going to get the iPhone 12.
Okay.
I was asking Will. I don't know if he's
okay.
here.
Yeah, that's right. Will would be the natural person to get it, even ahead of me.
iPhone 3G confirmed. They invented HSPA.
Yep.
Of course, yeah. Since this is on the 13th. I think Halloween. Apple's gonna find the courage to add 5G. And what are they gonna add? What are they gonna have the courage to add?
What else new?
Yeah.
You're expecting something new more than 5G?
A headphone jack? OLED screens for all the models? I don't know.
That would be cool.
Micro LED on something? Maybe an AirPod Pros that actually are stable?
He says as he hopes his keep working.
I don't know. Maybe they're going to actually be courageous and stick to the word about recycling and make, these AirPods user replaceable. Fix the batteries in them.
Doesn't that mean you lose money?
It's about courage. You have to have courage to lose money.
I think they're still a capitalist company, so it's also about bucks.
He's hoping for the Touch ID and the power button, but that's unlikely.
I would love that.
On the iPad, Sony's been doing it on their phones.
Right.
I don't know. The side power button, it's actually a side button. It's already doing too much.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
Yeah. like, you have to hold two buttons for it to turn into a power button. You have to double press it in order to download apps.
Yeah, that's true.
It's doing too much.
Okay.
And then in order for it to become a Touch ID thing, I don't know. It's not gonna. It's gonna be more confusing to use, but at the same time, if it gets rid of that notch, maybe I'll be for it.
Well, I think the last couple of articles I read said they are definitely not getting rid of the notch, not only on the 12, but they were saying on the 13, the notch is still going to be there. That's what I read yesterday, I think.
So
and I wanted to mention, as we were talking about the fingerprint sensor on this thing, which I've never been crazy about side fingerprint sensors. This is the best one I've ever used.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, bring forth the next story, George.
Okay. Let me get this out of here. And I was surprised you put this in here because we normally don't talk any kind of politics at all. So it just surprised me that you put this one in here.
What did I choose? I can't even remember what I put. I wish there was a way I could preview this thing. What did I add?
You can look on my website and preview the thing,
Oh, it's blinking. Is it blinking on yours? Because it sure says blinking on mine.
It's blinking like crazy. I don't know what you did.
Okay, never mind. Get next story.
Okay.
I'm taking that as a sign.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that was on Section 230. Congress, the GOP was planning on removing protections on social media sites like Facebook, the Twitters,
right, exactly.
the Twitters.
Because they've been acting like
curators in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Which they're not supposed to do.
They're not. They're kind of allowed to. They don't actually. They're not bound by the First Amendment, right?
No, they're not. But they were giving.
You mean in terms of their terms and service?
So they're not like the Wall Street. They're not like newspaper entities. So anyway, that's an ongoing argument. That's why I was surprised you put the story in there in the first place.
Yeah, I think I'll just put it there just so I can see the PDF on the attachment on what the 230 amendments were.
Or maybe you just wanted to see a flashing screen. Who knows?
Apologies to those who have epilepsy. I didn't know it was going to flash on the screen like that. All right, what's the next one?
I've got it up there.
All right, that's this one.
Okay. Now, interesting... Okay. Now, you're reading or I'm reading?
No, you can read this one.
Okay. All right, this is on The Verge. Now, this is from 3 days ago. So I will tell you about it at the end. The Supreme Court is taking on Google and Oracle one last time. Google versus Oracle is a decade in the making, which is true. 10 years after Oracle first sued Google over the code in the Android platform, the two tech giants are facing off in the Supreme Court. Since then, there have been 3 trials and 2 appeals. Billions of dollars are at stake. Many millions have been likely spent on a parade of seasoned litigators, expert witnesses, and bizarre trial exhibits intended to explain programs to non-technical juries. Oh, yeah. And I can tell you, Wednesday, 2 days ago, when this actually happened, there was a lot of that going on. Weird trial exhibit. All of this may be coming to an anticlimactic close on Wednesday morning with a teleconference Supreme Court oral argument in the middle of a pandemic. When Google first developed Android, it decided to make the mobile platform compatible with Java. At the time, apps for the iOS environment were written in Objective-C, a language that was similar to the ubiquitous C, but otherwise pretty much only used in the context of iOS app development. Apple had a significant head start in mobile. Yeah, I programmed in C maybe 15 years ago, but I never heard of Objective-C. Google was aiming to make Android competitive by making the platform interoperable with Java, a popular programming language with a robust developer community. In order to do that, the company re-implemented Java APIs, including the 37 that are at issue in the lawsuit. For Oracle and Google, the lawsuit is about whether Oracle, which owns Java Standard Edition, is now entitled to a piece of Android to the tune of billions of dollars. For everyone else, the lawsuit is about whether language compatibility is tantamount to copyright infringement. And of course, back when I used to use Java, it was owned by Sun Microsystems, so they changed hands a long time ago. To say the very least, it was a different world when the case was first filed. Exactly. Both companies have changed hands. The lawsuit began while Larry Ellison was still at the helm of Oracle and Eric Schmidt was the CEO of Google. That's a long time ago. Google is now a subsidiary of Alphabet. Android is on version 11. The only thing that seems to have stayed the same is the popularity of Java as a programming language. But far away from Silicon Valley, there's been a sea change that encompasses much more than a mere $6 billion in the future of copyright law. 3 Supreme Court seats have been vacated since the last time Google asked the High Court to review its case. In 2014, SCOTUS denied Centauri. Am I saying that right? Sending the case back to the district court in San Francisco for a retrial. Since then, 1 justice had retired and 2 have passed away, most recently Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. The absolute least important part of Ginsburg's legacy is that she was the most reliable vote in copyright law cases, tending to vote in favor of rights holders. Her loss also means that Google versus Oracle is being heard by 8 justices and is therefore prone to a split court. In the 1996 software copyright case Lotus versus Bowling, I remember Lotus and Bowling, an 8-justice court split evenly and were unable to set a national precedent.
So advantage Google right now, huh?
Yeah, because then nothing would happen. Yeah.
I mean that RBG passed away.
No, I mean, yeah, the fact that it could split right down the middle, yeah, that would be advantage Google. When Google versus Oracle began in 2010, it involved several patents as well as the copyright claim. By 2012, the case had been whittled down to a mere 37 Java APIs made up of about 11,500 lines of code. Now, get this. Estimates put Android around 12 million lines of code, and this is over 11,500. This is incredible. The 11,500 lines of code at issue were written in a clean room, a project siloed away from the existing code. They were reverse engineering. This feat of engineering became necessary when negotiations between Google and Sun Microsystems, which owned the Java platform, failed. Oracle acquired Sun in early 2010. By August, it had filed suit against Google. An application programming interface, API, in this context is a collection of well-defined interactions in software programming. It is shorthand to quickly access services, libraries, and other functions. An API can condense commonly used or verbose code, allowing programmers to build without having to reinvent the wheel. I can attest to that, because when you use APIs in Java, boy, it makes it a lot easier than having to type it all out yourself. An API is not exactly a dictionary, but it's close enough to one that Oracle versus Google poses a huge problem. Technically, you can program in Java without using the 37 Java API packages at issue, but you probably wouldn't be writing anything useful since those APIs include Java Lang and Java Util, basic packages that offer functions doing math or representing dates and times. I can also technically write this article without any metaphors or smiles, but it's not something I would want to do or that anyone would want to read. Good point. To be clear, the 37 Java APIs were re-implemented in a clean room. Oracle is not asserting that they are verbatim the same, but rather that the structure, sequence, and organization of the APIs are so similar as to violate copyright law. By this, it means that the packages, classes, and methods in these APIs are named the same. Yeah, that's not good. A line of code written to run in Java Standard Edition won't necessarily run on Android, but it'll come a lot closer than it would have otherwise. Yeah, to me, that hurts Google's case because they kept the names the same and the fact that they reverse engineered. The very first run at the lawsuit resulted in a bifurcated trial in 2012. One trial for the patent claims and a second trial just for the copyright claim. This is very confusing to me. In the patent trial, the jury ruled that Google had not infringed any patents. In the copyright trial, two separate legal points were at issue. First, whether the declaring code and structure sequence and organization of the APIs were copyrightable, and second, whether Google's use was a fair use. The judge ruled on the copyrightability issue and sent the fair use issue to be assessed by the jury. The jury hung on fair use. I get advantage Google, I think. But the judge, who coincidentally wrote code as a hobby, declaring code and FSO of the APIs were not covered by copyright after all, which means advantage Google. The Copyright Act does not apply to any idea, procedure, process, system, method of operation, all, and the way that the packages, classes, and methods were named and sorted was too functional to be deemed worthy of copyright. Okay.
Isn't that handy to have a judge adjudicate on a matter?
Who happens to be a hobby. Yeah. Cool. At least she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah. Although I think copyright lawyers actually no, it's not. Copyright lawyers are selected based on their knowledge of the area.
Yeah.
Never mind. I thought it was just coincidence at first, but no, actually, yeah, that is.
Yeah. Anyway, advantage Google so far to me. It was this specific ruling that was overturned by the federal court in 2014 because the first jury had hung on fair use. An entirely new jury had to be convened for yet another trial on fair use in 2016. The jury sided with Google. Seems to me Google keeps winning. But in 2018, the federal circuit, the same appeals court that in 2014 had sent the case back to the jury, ruled that the jury verdict had to be set aside in favor of Oracle because the evidence presented at trial clearly indicated that no fair use determination could be reached and therefore should not have gone to a jury in the first place. It's beginning to sound very political to me, like it depends on who's in and who's out. Setting aside a jury verdict is big judge energy in a way that is bound to be controversial to the Supreme Court. And it's likely that Wednesday's oral argument will feature a good deal of discussion about the role of judge versus jury in a copyright case. The question of who gets to decide fair use and when is something that can be extrapolated out to a lot of different legal cases which SCOTUS loves, and also has nothing to do with math, which SCOTUS does not love. Unfortunately, the real heart of the case lies in part with all the math and such. That makes sense. The Supreme Court's decision in Google versus Oracle might have huge ramifications for the software industry. Most importantly, because the Supreme Court may be revisiting the copyrightability issue. The question of whether the declaring code and structure, sequence, and organization of the Java APIs are covered by copyright law at all, which hasn't been in play since 2014. Seems to me they need to settle that. This decade-long grudge match between Google and Oracle is not an entirely rational one. Google's re-implementation of the Java API is part of a long tradition of iteration that was mostly taken for granted until now. Products like Oracle's MySQL were created as iterations of IBM's SQL. That's true because I've used both of those. Mm-hmm. This is not to say that copy-pasting is the heart of Silicon Valley, but there is a point at which you want to encourage things to look the same rather than to be different for the sake of different. That's true. To put things roughly, coding is the process of speaking to the machine, but very few people who develop software in this day and age actually speak directly to the machine. That's true. That's not something I ever wanted to do. Software exists in layers upon iterative layers, a game of whispers that eventually reaches the bare metal of the computer. New languages are derived from the old. New libraries are built on existing ones. Dependencies are stacked on top of each other like a game of Jenga that is about to end at any moment. And Google versus Oracle is a case that is happening at one of the lowest levels of an ongoing game of Jenga. We're about to find out whether the Supreme Court knows it. Now, I can tell you, I read a couple of other stories, and this is, of course, written before the court actually heard the case. Well, Wednesday, the court did hear the case. There's supposed to be a verdict by next June. So that's where they are. Now they have to do all their thinking about it. Let me go see if I can find one of those. Let me go see if I can find one of those what I saw, because some of the jargon used Wednesday was incredibly weird. Let's see if I can find this. Give me a minute.
Meanwhile, let me make a list of all the names people
Good.
suggested. Scrolling up.
This is not the one I want.
Ted.
You could hear as I read through that I used to be a programmer, obviously. Okay, yeah, here we go. Let me see if I can. Let me screen share this, Ted, because this one, I just found it interesting. And as they were saying in the article, there were some weird examples being used. Okay, I've got it shared. He's beating up his mouse again.
I charged it this afternoon.
I didn't mean to make you beat up your mouse again. Okay. Okay, and this one was on the New York Times, but this is what went on Wednesday. The justices heard the argument by telephone, and they used a series of low technologies to test the two sides' arguments. Their questions included ones on safe cracking, football playbooks, typewriter keyboards, restaurant menus, and telephone switchboard. This is what these lawyers used to argue this case. I thought that was incredible. You know,
they got it anyway, anyhow to make them understand.
It was just weird. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out because when the article said that they were going to use some weird examples, boy, obviously they did. And I guess they were trying to make it, the justices were trying to understand it in a way that, was clear to them. But it just seems some very weird examples to me when you're talking about computer code. And I can tell you, when it said that nobody wanted to talk in machine language, when I first started programming in 1981, I actually knew people who could write in autocoder and stuff that was very close to machine language. And believe me, you do not want to talk computer because, boy, is it difficult and hard to understand.
Bunch of zeros and ones.
But everything, of course, every language that's ever been written since then, when it gets to the computer, it's converted back to machine language. But it's very hard for most humans to follow machine language, and it's very, very complicated. That's why COBOL was a wonderful thing, because it was like English. All right, we've come to the end of our stories. So we've had an evening of listening to Ted beat up his mouse.
Apologies for that, guys.
Yeah, we've had great comments from Ron Bagnell. We've had great suggestions from Brian, and we've had
Gary,
and we've had Gary's usual good suggestions and wise cracks too. So, all in all, I'd say it was a good night.
Yeah. Now, I guess we do have some time to discuss whatever is on our mind, or we can just go prepare early for Game 5 of Heat against Seattle.
Oh, you want? Okay. Thanks, Juan.
Thanks, Juan.
Really appreciate you being, and especially appreciate your comments. And And of course, I thought Brian Gary made some of the best comments of the night too, especially when it comes to the name for Ted's channel. But don't listen to me. I'm just an old man shooting his mouth.
Let's see. Oh, right, the plug. I forgot. I almost forgot the plug, ladies and
Okay.
gentlemen.
That you've been doing every week, right?
Yes, I've been doing every week. Because I usually do this thing. Hold on.
Juan will appreciate this.
Let me share my screen. Well, let me go to the thing.
Yeah, you want to share your screen, not sunny it. Ooh. Every time you think I can't get worse, I manage.
Glowing the place. You know, it's always something that fails on my end. This time the camera was on its best behavior, but then the mouse was not.
What, you can't share your screen?
No, I can.
I'm waiting to see it. As he puts his mouse some more. This is hilarious. I hope you have a new mouse next week.
I bought it on Amazon renewed. I thought it would be okay. On Amazon, that's supposed to make sure that it's okay. I said,
This is the first time I've ever been on a live broadcast with somebody who had a Mickey Mouse mouse. So you're not going to be able to share the screen? Okay, there we go.
There we go. Okay. Welcome to the Glowing Rectangles subreddit. It's a place to talk about all the best tech toys.
Yep.
Let's see. The subreddit was created by our own Juan Bagnell, also goes by the name of Some Gadget Guy.
Yep.
You can search for him on YouTube. I'm sure his name is a lot easier to search than my name.
Oh yeah, you'll find him immediately. Trust me.
All right, no need to rub it in. But let me actually share another thing. Let me share a tweet by Arun. But the Reddit was created for the purpose of having users on YouTube share what they found, videos on tech that they found interesting, and not just relying on the algorithm that YouTube gives out, because YouTube's algorithm only serves itself, and the people who benefit are the tech YouTubers with millions or so subscribers. So maybe you want to find a techie that's more nuanced, serves a niche, or it's more down to earth, or maybe they're just a tech influencer, but they're consistent. It's okay to be, in my opinion, to be an influencer in tech, but as long as you're consistent with your likes, your dislikes, and you're transparent about it.
Well, you got to be as honest, in my opinion. That's all.
Well, honesty can shift like the waters.
Well, that's true, I guess.
As you grow older, what was then is
I represent that.
Our emotions can change, and being honest to that could be a bit difficult.
That's true.
But let me go to my book. Is it bookmarks? Yeah, bookmarks. But one thing I will say about the algorithm, boom, can be said much nicer by Arun. And let me figure out how to share this screen now. I'll stop this share, and I will share this other tab. It's got to be a snappier way to do this. Chrome tab, boom. I shared this last week, but
here we go.
Arun, I'm not going to say it.
Oh, that's right. You did show me last week, yeah.
So part of the algorithm is, it can take 7 years for a channel to reach 1 million subscribers. But once you hit that 1 million subscribers, look at the exponential growth.
Yeah.
1 year to reach 2 million, 8 months to hit 3 million, and then 6 months to hit 4 million.
Yeah.
And then it took him 3 months to hit 5 million. So really, if you want to actually broaden your consumption of tech, you really do owe it to yourself to, do the legwork yourself and you not trust the algorithm, because it's just going to keep funneling up to these, bigger. And
of course, hang in here for 7 years at least.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're really enjoying doing YouTube, why wouldn't you? I think I'll be here at least 7 years and a lot more. likely, because I enjoy what I do.
Speaking of, I've been
Big
wondering,
House is here. Big House just dropped in. Hey, Big House.
Oh, we were just missing you. Hey, Big House.
Glad-
Actually, I was gonna ask you, George. In the event that you don't, not gonna be putting stuff on your channel, like, what's gonna happen to the name Mobile Geezer? Is that gonna go with you, or you?
Who said I'm not going to be putting stuff on my channel?
I don't know.
I just said I'm behind. That's all. I'll catch up.
I was meaning in the distant future.
And well, do you know how healthy do you know I'm the healthiest person I know? You got to go way out into the distant future to get rid of me. Way, way out. Let me put it this way. Probably about the time that I start doing YouTube, you'll probably be a doddering old man. Okay? Deal with that. Okay?
Forgive this question if it's a bit forward, George, but given what you just told me, I feel like it's prudent to ask. Do you have like a will set out? Are your affairs in order?
I have a will, if that's what you mean. You know.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, just checking. Yeah, that's always a good idea.
Yeah, I was willing to make one. Oh. I hope Will is still watching.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too, and I was checking to see if he was in the comments.
Oh, I'm sorry, folks. I'm just being willful. One of those words you can go with for a long time.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly.
But yeah, on to this brilliant subreddit where I usually post the top video or most upvoted video of the day.
Juan, he's been doing this every week, so you should be proud of him.
Well, I do it every day. Well, in terms of the actual tweeting.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, you've been putting it on the live broadcast every week. So.
But actually, let me see what's the top video today. Today's top video is Johannes Sensei. I think this will be his 5th time on the subreddit in the past 2 weeks, so he's doing very well.
Cool.
And he talks about where he wonders should you buy the iPhone 11 in 2020. Johannes Sensei, also YouTube channel Tech PhD. Do follow him. So far he has heavy hitters like finding a gaming mouse for under $20, and a gaming mouse and a gaming keyboard. Great stuff. For under $30 even. And now he is wondering if you should buy an iPhone 11 in 2020. And I will answer that.
Give me the name of this channel again, because I'm in here. I'm going to go subscribe now.
Tech PhD.
TECH PhD?
Yep.
Okay. As in doctor. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, I just subscribed. I just didn't want to forget about it and then not do it. Okay.
Thanks, George. Good. But to answer his question that's in his title, I forgot how the rule is, but usually if there's a question in the title, it's usually no. Well, yes, except no. This period, the September period, is actually the worst period to buy an iPhone because it's about to be discounted because a new iPhone is about to be announced. So do buy an iPhone 11 just after October. Yeah. After October ends. Yeah. Then certainly buy the iPhone 11.
And I also agree, buy the iPhone 11 because it's a great, great phone in my opinion.
Just not in October or September.
Look at Big House's comment. He's jealous of. Hey, Big House, don't be jealous. I work my tail off only because I'm 75 years old, the healthiest person I know, and I want to keep it that way.
Oh my gosh, that got dark fast. Yeah. Hey, George, you got a will? You got it.
All right, so Juan has a dark sense of humor too. Okay.
It's like, are your affairs in order, George? Just asking out of coincidence, if anything would happen between after the show.
I have a question. Is he allowed to get dark with the brothers?
Well, yeah, he has a dark background, just like
what
I'm having right now. George is always posting his workout results. Yeah, early in the morning.
Well, yeah, I usually post them before I go to bed, which is usually about midnight.
Actually, I should have asked you, what actually dash cam do you use since you like driving so much? And you gave me good advice on the car that I
I
bought.
haven't used one in a few years. I don't even remember now. I stopped entirely.
Stopped.
You know who to ask? My Project 13. He always uses their skims. He's got, uh, or I'm sorry, mounts. He's got a couple of mounts that he highly likes that he's been using for a few years. So send a message to My Project 13, Anthony. He'll take
All right, will do. Thanks.
it. Oh, and Big House. The reason I post my workouts almost every day is the idea is I'm an old man and I'm healthy as all get out. Anybody else can do the exact same thing by putting in the work. That's my purpose, to inspire people. And as a matter of fact, one of my subscribers' wives bought a bicycle last year. He told me because of me. And boy, that made me feel good.
Oh, look at that. How old was he?
He's in his late 50s or early 60s.
Look, inspiring your age mates.
I'm trying. Hey, I'm here to inspire anybody who'll be inspired. I just always want to show that it's never too late, and if you put the work in, you're going to get results. And I don't watch what I eat or drink at all. I just work out, and it takes care of everything.
Funny enough that you should say, I actually this group called Omada Group.
Oh
They
my!
Yeah, Omada. Apparently they're like a Weight Watcher thing that your insurance can pay for. And I'm on Cigna. So apparently they give you a scale, and then you're on the scale, and then they also assign you a coach, and then you weigh in every day, and they say, hey.
Yeah.
And then you also have to log whatever you're eating. So I
And
think
there are
it's more.
people who that'll work for that wouldn't work for me because
Mhm.
I don't worry about what I weigh, even though I know what I weigh. I've been exercising for 39 and a half years, so I know what kind of shape I'm in. So I never need a coach, but I realize most people do, but I don't ever.
Yeah, that's my own.
All I need to inspire myself is to remind myself how old I am, how much better shape I am now than I was at 60 or 50 or 40 or 30. That's how I inspire myself.
Yeah, that's the one thing I have about this thing. It seems to be more diet focused,
But
and I
Big
want
House,
to be more
Big House,
exercise.
I didn't start at 17 miles a day. I started at 2 miles day one on the bicycle 7 years ago, last month. And I worked my way up to 4 miles pretty quick. And then I worked up to 10 miles in about a month. And I worked to 12 miles in a couple of months. And then I finally worked up to 20 miles and found my legs were killing me for 2 days. So I just knocked it back to 17 or 18 miles. And I'm fine with that.
Not bad.
You don't start at the top. You start slow and you work your way up.
Currently, my most extreme exercise is when I, run 2 miles to Chick-fil-A to get their chicken biscuits because they give me a free one every week.
Okay. So you're putting in the work to go get something, and you're balancing it out before you eat it. I think that's great.
Yeah, I use the exercise to destroy the exercise.
There you go. I think that's awesome.
Let's see. Oh, let's see what else is on the subreddit. So yeah, Johanna Sensei, congratulations, you're #1 tonight. I don't know if I'm going to post it on Twitter. I have to go run for the game. And then second place is Mr. Tech Rant. I forget what's his actual name.
I forgot his name.
Trenton Marshall.
I subscribed to him for a while, and then I stopped. But that's just me.
Trenton Marshall.
You know me, I offend if you curse and stuff like that. I stop watching. The only one I stay with who does curse a lot is Flossie. And Flossie doesn't curse much when he's doing reviews. I could not watch Flossie's weekend stuff.
He also had the outro videos where this guy was cursing with the
I couldn't take it, but Flossie is good. I find it hard not to watch him.
So bad news for Apple AirTags. Bad news for Apple AirTags. Good news for what's it called? The tiles. For tiles, they're still in business.
Oh, the tiles, okay.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing. Apple Sherlock's software. It's not an easy thing to Sherlock a whole hardware. What?
Apple Sherlock's?
Sherlocking, you've heard of that term.
No.
Okay, it's where, a third party app has a feature that's very nice and useful. Apple blocks the feature,
Uh,
and then in the next update, they pretty much they pretty much, bake it into the system.
oh, okay.
It's called Sherlocking
I've
because,
heard of it before.
yeah, it's called Sherlocking because I think it was done on MacBooks. It was done on macOS where they killed this app called Watson, which helps you search for stuff.
Watson, yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha.
And and then look, I think we have and then third spot is no, fourth spot is by
Yeah, who's the third spot,
Juan.
by the way?
Third spot is her name I forget. And her channel Entrepreneur Woman.
Oh, and Big House is asking one a question, so you may want to highlight it.
Boom, here you go. Are
There
you
you
going to? Okay. Yeah.
Interesting.
Actually, let's go focus on your question, Big House. I would say, why bother with the 20 FE where you can get a Galaxy S20 now for the same price?
Oh, same price?
If you buy it used.
Oh, for used. Okay. Because I love my S20, but of course I bought it when it came out. So. But yeah, right now, if I were going between those two, I think I would go with the Fan Edition. I'm guessing. Yeah, you see what Juan said, probably not, but he's swamped for phones. I'm in the same boat, even for myself.
Big House, we have to take it to. Jerome would definitely say Pixel 4a 5G.
Yeah, now of course I love my 4A, but I don't have the 5G, and the specs on the Fan Edition surprised me how good they are.
Because
I mean.
Pixel 4a 5G is what, $499, and then you can get the
$599, isn't it? Isn't the 5G $599 and the Pixel 5 $699? I thought that's what it was. Let me go look it up.
Yeah, help me out there, George.
Okay.
Because if it's $499, I would go for the Pixel 4a 5G. The only real thing that makes me tempted to buy the Galaxy S20 FE is DeX.
I know you love your decks, Okay. Oh, you're right. It is from $499. You're right.
Pixel 4a 5G.
and the 5G and the 5 is
appreciate a headphone jack.
Okay.
But no, seriously, like if the name of the game is software, which although 3 years software update, so it's probably like they support the software at the same time.
And of course, you just highlighted again why people buy iPhones. 5 years.
And then the Galaxy S20, the Galaxy S20 is going to be waterproof. It's pretty, I don't know. I would go with the 4A 5G, particularly because of the headphone jack.
It has been a number of times. Now, of course, I've had the S20 since February. Yeah, because I got it for my birthday. And it was a present. And there's been 5 or 6 times when I was really grateful about it being waterproof. So that's an important for me because I'm riding in ridiculous weather sometimes, both on my motorcycle or bicycle.
I'm thinking if you're more prone to actually doing phone calls on your phone, perish the thought who does such a thing, I would go with a Pixel because, you don't have to be bothered with waiting on a phone. You can screen your calls.
Yeah, well, I still, I guess, make a lot of phone calls compared to other people, but I do everything with my earbuds. So almost all of my phone calls are, with Bluetooth.
No, the feature is let's say you place on hold on a Pixel phone. You can now say, the new feature. It'll let you know when you're no longer on hold.
I think that sounds very cool.
And then, the regular features, if somebody calls you, be like, hey, who this?
Yeah.
Say your name. And then
it's Will going to be, right like he usually says, will Google end up giving that to all the other phones? Because I think that would be very cool. We'll see.
Yeah, actually, no. I'll probably Tech also actually just put a video up on camera. Google's putting out the Camera Go app, but it's only going to be available on the $100 or $200
Be on the Android One phones. Yes, that's true.
Android One phone. So no, they're not going to. Google's trying to be somewhat competitive, or at least try to.
Let's hope. You never know with Google.
Uh,
Thanks, Juan, for coming by. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, and that's actually it. It's probably a good time for us to go. Ooh, we're almost approaching that 2 hour mark.
All right.
Hey, set up the projector for the game.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming by.
Sticking with us for. Thanks to everybody who came in, and really appreciate it. Thanks for all the comments, for the knowledge you pass along to us. And next week, we'll be back on the Mobile Geezer channel. And I hope everybody has a very blessed and wonderful weekend.
All right. Good night, Phil. Good night, guys, and stay awesome.
Happy trails to you.